Ever feel like kind of like you were sold a lie?
Mm,
Like, you did everything you were told to do,
right.
got the grades, got that degree. That was going to be the ticket, right?
Yeah.
To the dream job, the success, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
But then you graduate and it's like, whoa, hold up.
Totally.
Nobody told me the rules changed.
Yeah, it's like different game entirely.
Right. It's like showing up for Monopoly night and they're playing, I don't know, Settlers of Catan or something.
Uh-huh, exactly. It's like the game changed and nobody told you.
And that's kind of what's happening, I think, with education and the job market these days.
It really is.
There's this huge gap between what we're learning in classrooms and what employers actually want.
Absolutely.
And it's making a lot of people feel lost, confused,
Yeah.
and honestly, a little cheated.
It's not just a feeling, though. It really is a reality.
Okay, so let's get into that then. What's really going on?
Well, we've got this system that just pumps out grads with pretty much the same degrees.
Like a factory?
Yeah, kind of. Like making identical widgets or something.
Okay, but the job market's not buying widgets anymore.
Nope. They want something else now.
So what they want?
They need those specialized tools, the problem solver.
They're innovators.
Yes. But lots of grads are showing up without those practical skills.
Or the experience employers are looking for. It's
Exactly.
like we were all handed these perfect hammers
Uh-huh.
when what they needed were screwdrivers and wrenches.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, a 3D printer or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah. A 3D printer.
So we end up with this oversaturation problem.
Way too many grads with the same old degrees.
All fighting over the same few jobs.
It's tough out there.
It's like everyone puts in the same dish to a potluck.
Right?
Might be delicious, but ain't nobody going to eat that much of it.
Exactly.
Somebody's going to go home hungry.
And that hunger, it turns into competition, underemployment,
Frustration.
big time. Because here's the thing. The job market doesn't care about your GPA.
Or all those fancy honors cords you got.
Nope. They care about what you can do for them right now.
How you can solve their problem.
Exactly.
How you can help them succeed.
That's it.
So it's less about show me what you know.
And more like, show me what you can do.
I get that.
Yeah,
But the thing is, a lot of us were never taught that do part.
I hear you.
We learned how to write those essays and solve those equations.
Yeah.
But nobody showed us how to build a website, manage a project.
Or analyze data.
Right. And that's where this whole skills mismatch comes in.
Exactly. Traditional education focuses on the theory, the fundamentals.
Which are important,
Of course. But
but they don't always translate to the real world.
that's the gap.
I remember when I graduated, I had that shiny communications degree,
Uh-huh.
felt ready to take on the world. But then, first job interview,
Oh, boy.
the interviewer's like, can you edit videos?
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you know how to run social media campaigns? I just froze. I knew all about communication in theory, but I couldn't actually do the stuff they needed.
Classic example of that gap we're talking about.
We're taught the what, but not the how.
And that how is what really makes all the difference.
And that gap, it has real-world consequences.
It does.
I have a friend, Sarah, graduated top of her class, sociology,
Smart woman.
but that degree alone, not opening the doors she thought it would.
Yeah.
Work in retail now, trying to figure out her next move.
I hear you. I knew this guy, Mike. Master's in philosophy.
Wow.
Still waiting tables.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to make it all work,
It's heartbreaking because they're both so capable, so smart.
Yeah, but the system's not setting them up for success.
It's like we're playing this game where nobody explained the rules.
It really is.
And now we're trying to figure it out on the fly.
With pretty high stakes, too.
Exactly. So what do we do? How do we bridge this gap?
That's the big question.
How do we start winning this game?
Well, I think the power's in your hands, to bridge this gap. You can't just wait for the system to change.
Right.
Or for the job market to magically, fix itself.
Got to take charge.
You got to be the architect of your own success.
I love that. Architect of my own success.
Right.
But HOW.
Right. Where do you even start?
It's overwhelming, when what you learn and what they want are so different.
It's totally understandable to feel that way.
Okay, so break it down for me.
Maybe step.
What's step one?
Step one, figure out what the job market actually values.
Makes sense.
What are those skills, those experiences they're really looking for?
It's like if you're building a house, you got to know what materials to use.
Perfect analogy.
So how do we figure out what the building materials are in this case?
Research is key.
Okay, research.
Be a detective. Gather those clues.
Sounds kind of fun, actually.
It can be. Start with job postings. In your field, obviously.
Yeah.
Don't just skim them. Really analyze.
What am I looking for?
What skills do they keep mentioning? What keywords pop up over and over?
Got it.
Are they looking for specific software knowledge?
Makes sense.
Any soft skills, communication, teamwork, all that.
Write it all down like a checklist.
Exactly. It's like you're building a treasure map to career gold.
Love it. Treasure map. But job postings, that's just one piece, right?
Right? Where else can you get clues? Industry websites, professional organizations.
Oh.
They've got articles, reports, even surveys about what skills are hot.
So like insider tips from people already in the game.
Exactly. You're getting the inside scoop from the pros.
And we can learn from people too, right? Not just websites and stuff.
Absolutely. Talk to people who are doing the job you want.
Makes sense.
Networking. It's a powerful tool.
Okay, networking, I've heard that word a million times.
But it's not just about collecting business cards, you know?
Right. It's got to be more than that.
It's about building real relationships, genuine connections.
With people who are doing what you want to do someday.
Exactly. Reach out to them.
Just cold call them.
Well, maybe start with informational interviews.
Oh, okay. Informational interviews.
Less pressure. You're learning about their career path, what skills helped them.
That's a good idea. Like a behind-the-scenes tour of the industry.
Exactly.
But reaching out to strangers is always kind of, I don't know, scary.
I get it. Start with your existing network.
My network.
Friends, family, classmates, professors, whoever.
Oh, okay.
You never know who might know someone in your field.
Or who can give some good advice.
Right. Sometimes the best connections are closer than you think.
Like a chain reaction of support.
Exactly. And don't forget, networking goes both ways. Be genuine, be helpful, give as much as you take.
I can do that.
The more you give, the more you get back.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've identified those skills we need through research, talking to people.
And now you got to develop those skills.
Right, got to level up. But where do we even go to do that?
Good news is there are learning opportunities everywhere.
Like where?
Online learning platforms, Coursera, Udemy, Skillshare, even YouTube.
It's like a global university at your fingertips.
It really is.
But so many options. It's overwhelming. Where do I even start?
Start with the specific skill you want to learn.
Okay, narrow it down.
Then explore those platforms, read reviews, find courses that fit you.
Fit my learning style, my budget.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to try different formats, different teachers.
Until you find what clicks.
Exactly. And it's not just about online courses.
Right. What else is there?
Libraries, community centers, even some businesses have workshops.
Oh, wait.
And don't forget about books.
I love a good bookstore.
Me too. They're
Fine.
treasure troves of knowledge.
And a lot of these learning opportunities are free, right?
Or super affordable. You don't need to break the bank.
That's a relief.
Learning is an investment.
In yourself.
Exactly. The key is to be curious, to be proactive.
And to keep at it.
Persistence.
Yes. But sometimes the hardest part is just starting, you know?
I hear you. Try setting smart goals.
Smart goals.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound.
Oh, okay. So instead of saying, I want to learn to code,
You'd say, I'll finish a Python course online in 3 months.
makes it more real.
And less daunting. It's like climbing a mountain one step at a time.
Reaching those milestones keeps you motivated.
Exactly. And celebrate those wins, big or small.
Oh, I'm all about celebrating.
Acknowledge your progress, reward yourself, share your wins with people.
Love it. High five for all that hard work.
And speaking of work,
Yeah.
have you considered freelance projects?
Freelancing. Isn't that like the gig economy and all that?
It is. Great way to get experience.
Even while you're studying or have a full-time job?
Exactly.
Okay, but how do I even get freelance work?
Start small. Build that confidence up gradually.
What, like offer to do stuff for friends?
That's a great start. Or family, local businesses.
Okay.
Volunteer for projects that interest you.
So I can learn those skills while I work.
Exactly. And don't forget to tell people you're looking for freelance gigs.
Get the word out.
Yes. It's like building a portfolio brick by brick.
Starting small and working your way up.
And you can tailor projects to your interests, your career goals.
So if I'm into marketing,
You could manage social media for a local business.
or write content for a blog or something,
Exactly. You're getting paid to learn.
and build my resume at the same time,
The more experience you get, the more confident you become.
and the more attractive you are to clients.
And to future employers.
This is great. Okay, so we've got the experience part down,
Through freelancing, courses, all that.
but we need those marketable skills too, right? The ones employers actually want.
Skills are your tools.
Skills.
The tools in your toolbox. They're what you use to build, to create, to solve problems.
To make a difference.
Exactly. And just like a craftsman needs the right tools.
You need the right skills for the job you want.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So what are those essential skills? The ones everyone's looking for?
Well, some depend on the field, of course.
Makes sense.
But there are some that are valuable everywhere, like communication skills.
Communication.
Crucial in every job, really.
I guess so.
You got to communicate clearly, effectively.
In writing, verbally.
It's how you get your ideas across.
And it's not just about talking and writing, is it?
Got to be a good listener, too.
Active listening, right?
That's the key. Really hearing what others are saying.
Understanding their perspective.
It's like a superpower in the workplace.
Builds relationships, helps teams work better.
Prevents misunderstandings, too.
But being a good listener, that's hard.
It takes practice, for sure.
Okay, so communication. What else?
Problem-solving skills, those are huge.
Problem solving. Yeah, that makes sense.
Employers want people who can identify the problem,
Analyze it.
come up with creative solutions.
And actually implement those solutions.
Exactly. It's the engine of progress.
And it's not just about fixing stuff that's already broken, right?
Right. You got to anticipate problems.
See them coming before they even happen.
Exactly. Find those areas where you can make things better.
Be proactive, not reactive.
That's the mindset employers love.
Okay, so communication, problem solving. What else?
Teamwork. Super important.
Teamwork makes the dream work, or whatever. Right?
Haha, exactly. But it's not always easy.
Working with other people can be tough.
Different personalities, different styles.
It's a challenge.
But effective teamwork, it takes communication, empathy,
Flexibility.
and the ability to compromise.
Everyone brings something different to the table.
And when you work together, that's where the magic happens.
The whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Exactly.
Okay, so communication, problem solving, teamwork. Feeling pretty good so far. What else?
Technology skills, can't forget those.
Ah, right. The digital age and all that.
Pretty much every industry uses tech these days.
I guess so.
So it's important to have at least some basic skills.
Like what?
Data analysis is huge right now.
Everyone's talking about big data.
Data is everywhere, and knowing how to analyze it, that's valuable.
Data analysts, they're in high demand.
Across all kinds of industries.
They help companies understand their customers, make better decisions.
It's like being a detective, but for business.
I like that.
And then there's coding.
Coding, that always seems so intimidating.
It's the language of computers.
Well, if you can code, you can, talk to computers.
Kinda. You can tell them what to do.
That's pretty cool.
And it's used for so much. Websites, apps, software programs.
It's a powerful skill.
It really is. Okay, what else? Digital marketing.
Digital marketing, is that just like regular marketing but online?
Kinda. It's reaching your audience through the internet.
Websites, social media, email campaigns.
Exactly. It's a growing field.
Got to keep up with the times.
And then there's project management software.
What's that?
It helps you plan, organize, track projects.
Any project.
From tiny tasks to huge initiatives.
Helps teams stay on track.
Keeps everyone on the same page.
Like a digital assistant for your whole team.
Exactly. And there are so many different programs out there.
So we've got communication, problem solving, teamwork, all the tech stuff.
Data analysis, coding, digital marketing, project management.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is. But it's not just about having these skills.
Right. What good are they if you can't show them off?
You got to demonstrate them to employers.
How do we do that?
Well, your resume and cover letter are a good start.
They're more than just lists of skills, right?
Exactly. Use action verbs. Give specific examples.
Show, don't tell.
Exactly. Tell stories about how you use those skills to get results.
Make those bullet points come alive.
And don't forget about your online presence.
LinkedIn.
It's your digital resume.
My virtual handshake.
Exactly. Keep it up to date, well written.
Make a good first impression.
And be active on the platform. Connect with people.
Engage in those industry conversations.
LinkedIn is a networking goldmine.
I could do that. Okay, so resume, cover letter, LinkedIn. What about during an interview?
Ah, the interview. That's where it all comes together.
Yeah, but interviews are nerve-wracking.
I hear you. Preparation is key.
What, practice my answers?
Think about specific examples from your experience.
To show how I've used those skills we talked about.
Exactly. And don't just answer questions.
Ask questions, too.
Show them you're curious, you're engaged.
Not just desperate for a job, haha.
Right. Show them you want to contribute, make a difference.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've talked about the skills.
Developing them, showcasing them.
But there's one more big piece, right? We kind of touched on it before.
Networking.
Oh, let's get into it. What are the secrets? How do we build a network that actually works?
It's all about relationships.
Genuine ones.
Exactly. Not just transactions.
Not about what someone can do for you, but
But how you can connect, build trust, provide value.
it's got to be a two-way street.
Always. Give as much as you take.
Be a good human, basically.
Exactly. But how do you actually meet people? Expand that network.
Good question. I'm not exactly Mr. Social Butterfly over here.
Well, there's online and offline networking.
Okay, let's start with offline. What's out there?
Industry events, conferences, workshops.
Ah, those things.
They're great for meeting like-minded folks, learning about trends.
Conferences can be fun, like a knowledge party.
Don't be afraid to strike up conversations.
I always feel awkward doing that.
Everyone's there to connect.
Okay, conferences. What about online? For us introverts.
Online networking is huge.
Yeah. What platforms are good?
LinkedIn, obviously. Twitter, professional forums.
I like online. You can do it at your own pace.
Join groups, follow experts.
Engage in discussions.
And that LinkedIn profile. Make it shine.
It's your digital first impression.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're meeting people online, offline.
Building those connections.
But how do those connections turn into opportunities?
The follow-up is key.
Ah, the dreaded follow-up.
Don't be afraid to reach out after you've met someone.
Send an email, a LinkedIn message.
Remind them where you met.
Mention something specific we talked about.
Exactly. Shows you were paying attention.
And if I need advice, just ask.
People love to help, especially if they know how.
I can do that. So it's about building real relationships, nurturing them.
Networking is not a one-time thing.
It's a long game.
Stay top of mind. Build a community.
Support each other, celebrate each other's successes.
That's what it's all about.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
From skills to experience to networking.
But there's this one big question that keeps bugging me.
Oh.
What's that?
How do we actually make our education work for us?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
How we bridge that gap between what we learn and what the job market wants.
Well, you've got the skills, the experience, the connections.
But how do I put it all together?
It's about taking ownership, being proactive,
Yeah.
adaptable,
And always learning.
always.
Yeah.
Education is the foundation.
But it's up to us to build the rest.
Exactly.
But that can be so overwhelming. Where do you even begin?
Start by looking inward. Inward.
What are your values, your interests, your skills?
What am I passionate about?
Exactly. What are you good at? What kind of impact do you want to make?
Sometimes I forget to even think about that stuff.
It's easy to get caught up in what you should do,
Or what everyone else is doing.
but you got to be true to yourself.
Okay, self-reflection. Check. What else?
Embrace the growth mindset.
Growth mindset.
The world's always changing, the job market too.
Gotta roll with the punches.
Exactly. Be willing to learn new things.
Step out of that comfort zone.
Because learning doesn't end with a degree.
It's a lifelong thing.
It's a journey, and your career path might not be a straight line.
There might be detours.
Unexpected turns, sometimes those lead to the best places.
I like that. So, self-reflection, growth mindset. What other advice do you have for someone who's feeling lost?
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
There are people who can help.
Tons. Career counselors, mentors,
Professional organizations.
they're all there to support you.
It's tough trying to do it all alone.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Experiment.
Try different things. Internships, volunteer work,
Side projects.
all great ways to gain experience, explore, figure out what you really love.
It's all about the journey, isn't it?
It is. And you know what's at the heart of it all?
What?
Passion.
Ah, yes. Passion.
It's the fuel that drives us, the spark that ignites everything.
When you love what you do.
It's not work anymore.
It's a calling.
It's about purpose, about making a contribution.
Leaving your mark on the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do we find this passion?
Sometimes it feels like this, I don't know, mythical thing. Like a unicorn or something.
It's a journey of self-discovery.
Ooh, deep.
Pay attention to what brings you joy, what makes you feel alive.
The stuff you could talk about for hours.
Yes. And sometimes passion is something you cultivate.
You don't just find it.
You explore, you try new things, you push your boundaries.
It can be sparked by anything.
Exactly. And it's not always about like huge life-changing moments. Sometimes it's in the little things, the everyday joys.
Those little sparks that make life worth living.
Exactly.
Okay, so as we're wrapping up this part,
Bridging that gap between education and the job market, it's a journey.
not a destination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take ownership, find your passion, build your skills,
Nurture your network,
and believe in your
because
dream.
you can create a future that's truly aligned with who you are.
I believe that.
Me too.
Yeah.
So we've talked about like finding your passion, getting those skills, building your network, and having that growth mindset.
Right, right.
But there's one more thing I think that's super important.
Oh, I'm intrigued. What's that?
It's the thing that can make all the difference.
The make or break factor, you're saying.
Yeah, even when you've got all the right stuff on paper, experience, the skills,
Degree.
this thing can still trip you up, or it can launch you forward.
Okay, lay it on me. What's the secret ingredient?
It's confidence.
Ah, confidence. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. It's like a magnet.
Draws people in, makes them want to believe in you.
Exactly. It makes you stand out and nail that interview.
Get the job.
It's true.
But confidence, it's not just about, like, thinking positive thoughts, right?
No, it's got to be more than that.
Gotta have something to back it up.
Confidence is not about being cocky.
Right, it's not arrogance.
It's about knowing your worth, recognizing your strengths.
Believing you can succeed.
And that belief, it comes from preparation, from hard work.
From being willing to learn and grow.
You got it.
Okay, so how do we get this confidence? Especially,
Especially when it's tough out there.
yeah, the job market's a beast, and then there's imposter syndrome.
That little voice telling you you're not good enough
And maybe you've had some setbacks, some failures.
knocked you down a few pegs.
Exactly. So how do we build that confidence back up?
Well, start by giving yourself credit
Credit. For what?
for your accomplishments. Celebrate your successes.
We should celebrate more.
We should. We tend to dwell on what we haven't done.
What we're not good at, yeah.
But it's important to look back and see how far you've come.
All the awesome things we've already done, like a victory lap.
Exactly. Give yourself a pat on the back. You're not starting from zero.
I like that.
You've got knowledge, skills, experiences. Build on that foundation.
Every time you hit a goal, big or small,
Celebrate it.
little dopamine hits.
Exactly. It keeps you motivated.
Finishing that online course, learning a new software, even landing a small freelance gig.
Those are all wins.
It's all about momentum.
Positive reinforcement. It fuels your confidence.
Love it. Okay, so we're celebrating those wins. What else?
Focus on your strengths.
My strengths, huh?
We all have them. Those unique talents and abilities.
We're all good at something.
Exactly. And when you play to your strengths,
You're more likely to succeed.
you'll feel more confident, more fulfilled.
Makes sense. It's about owning what makes you you.
Your unique superpower.
Don't be afraid to stand out.
And keep pushing your boundaries.
Try new things, even if they scare you a little.
Every time you challenge yourself and win, that confidence grows.
And who knows, you might discover hidden talents along the way.
You never know what you're capable of until you try.
So true. But confidence, it's not something you get overnight, right?
It is a process.
A journey.
There'll be bumps along the way.
Setbacks, failures, those are inevitable.
It's how you deal with them that matters.
Exactly. Every setback is a lesson
A chance to learn and grow.
to come back stronger.
I like that. So confidence is contagious too, right?
It is. When you believe in yourself.
Others start to believe in you too.
It's true. Confidence speaks volumes.
It draws people in.
Makes them want to work with you, support you.
So embrace that confidence. Celebrate those wins, big and small.
Focus on what you're good at. Challenge yourself.
And learn from those stumbles.
Because when you believe in yourself, anything is possible.
Love it. Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From education to employability. Skills, experience, networking.
And the power of confidence.
Yeah.
But let's be real, folks.
Yeah,
Those degrees, they're just pieces of paper.
they are
They're a starting point,
a foundation,
but they don't define you.
and they definitely don't limit your potential.
It's what you do with that knowledge that matters.
How you apply it, how you build on it, how you present yourself to the world.
That's what makes all the difference.
Couldn't agree more.
You have the power to create the future you want.
Don't ever forget that.
So go out there, find your passion, build those skills, make those connections, and believe in yourself. You've got this.